Today we're going to be cleaning the intake valves on an n54, specifically on a e89 Z4. What I like about these cars is that they don't have the big old cowl over here. So like if you wanted to remove the motor, the transmission bolts are literally right, let me zoom out, right under here, which is good. So I'm getting this car tuned, as you know, and I don't have them out here, but oh yeah, I cleaned the garage, by the way. Anyways, we got the whatchamacallit, the charge pipe finally arrived after lots of emails and threatening to sue people. I'll talk more about it on the charge pipe video, but today, right now we're just gonna do the valve cleaning, and I'm not gonna be using any walnut blasting because that's expensive and I don't want to do that. I'd rather work a few hours cleaning these by hand than like a few $100s getting a walnut blaster out of here. As you can see, I did disconnect the PCV hose over there. That was in an attempt to stop oil from getting in, but I also realized there's actually holes in the head that go from the valve cover into the intake manifold, into the intake runners in the engine. So oil from there is getting in there, and I think that's mainly the issue with these engines. On the n55s, they haven't updated. I'll take the valve cover off. I'll show you. All right, got the cover off. So there's two valves right here. This valve routes back into your inlet, the back inlet, and then this front valve recirculates from the crank, from the valve cover, from inside the valve cover down the head. There's 6 holes basically drilled in, and it basically just goes in there. That's how the oil gets into the intake. I think that's this car's main problem, and the n55s have an updated version. So I'm actually going with a PCV delete kit that routes it to atmosphere, so it's not going to be going into the intake at all. Later on, I'm gonna I'll get a catch can for it so that it won't harm the environment as much. But for now, it'll do. And but yeah, if you guys want to save some money, it's like $40 I think for an updated valve, PCV valve. And I know Burger Tuning sells one that's pretty good. And for this I literally had it unplugged right here, but you can just get a catch can for like $100 at Burger Tuning, and it'll save it. Or a universal one would work. You just disconnect this hose and then disconnect the plastic hose from here. You can't really see it, but yeah, I might show you when it's completely out. But actually, I won't even show you this video because I'm not installing it. I'm cleaning the valves. I completely forgot what this video was about. Okay, well, let's get to unbolting these filters. I know they're bad. I gotta get better filters. I did make these. They were like $40 to make. I just got exhaust pipe that was 2 inch to 3 inch, and I got it on. Got some filters on. It works. And I'll buy the actual dual cones later. But to get this out, I'm just gonna get these filters out, and then I might disconnect this and leave it on the car, and I'll just take this whole thing out. So I got the intake manifold out. It's over there somewhere. No, we'll check it out later. This is actually worse than I thought in the intake thing. You can see, if you can see that I've already sprayed some brake cleaner in there and it's already reacting to it. But I'll show you the valves later. I found out this thing is held in by these two like prongs on the intake manifold, and this thing is hooked onto so many wires, so you don't want to take out the intake manifold while that's still on it. What you want to actually do is take this off and then take the throttle body out and then pull this down if it's still connected. I don't know if I want to connect this back up. I probably am, just to keep things tidy, but a lot of people just leave them out. But I looked it up and you just pull this thing straight down and the intake manifold comes up. I was having trouble getting it out because this thing was basically holding it back. Anyways, I'll show you the valves. These are, here, let me zoom in. But that's, you can't even see them, they're so bad. There's cylinder 2, 3. I'm already testing some products on that one. And come on, focus. Focus. There's 4. 5 isn't that bad, and 6 is in there somewhere. I can't see it. 6 and 5 isn't that bad. It says these front 4. That's like, it gets really bad towards the front. So what the heck is that? Okay, it's like 9 o'clock right now, but oh well. I thought I was gonna get that intake manifold out a lot faster, but turns out I was wrong. So I don't know how to turn over this motor yet, but as soon as I do, I'll tell you guys. But right now I just looked for whichever cylinder was closed, and I sprayed some a little brake cleaner in there, see if it was going down, and if it stays up, then that cylinder is good, like closed. So yeah, I think this one's actually going down. I should probably suck that brake cleaner back up before it goes in the cylinder. But yeah, I'm just gonna, oh, that's copyrighted music. Okay, cool. Alright guys, unfortunately daylight's gone. It's nighttime already, but I'm actually very surprised with the results. I literally just used brake cleaner, and check that out. See if I can zoom in there without it getting blurry. This is actually the good one, or like before it was one of the really bad ones, and that was about like, so I basically filled the whole thing, the whole runner up with brake cleaner up to about where they split, and then I just grabbed a toothbrush and started brushing the walls, and then I let it sit there for a while, and the brake cleaner actually did a very good job. I guess no need to waste money on those name brand valve cleaners. You could just use brake cleaner. But as you can see, so cylinder 1, 2, 3, cylinder 3 and 6 is the ones that are closed right now, and the 6 turned out pretty good as well. I mean, this wasn't as bad to start with, but the actual valve seat itself was kind of bad. I wasn't happy with it. It was actually way better than when I started, but I feel like I could get it a little better, so I'm dipping just that part, soaking that part in brake cleaner again. But this one, as you can see, like it's pretty good. Like that's actually, you're actually gonna notice that difference when driving. This car originally was, every time I'm just idling, it'll shake or misfire sometimes, but hopefully that'll stop. I have spark plugs too anyways, but as you can see, that's how it looked before. You can barely see the valve in there. Number 1's like probably one of the baddest, one of the worst, sorry. But this is not as bad, but still pretty bad, and this one was very, like almost as bad as number 1, cylinder 1 was. This one's still bad, but I didn't want to do a time lapse because I wanted to experiment first and see which method worked better. There's the brake cleaner right there. let me zoom out real quick. So I thought this was gonna work. This is CRC Pro Strength Degreaser, I guess, but it actually comes out all foamy and everything, so I don't recommend using that. I was just gonna test it out, but that one doesn't work as well. What I did try to use it though. I sprayed a little into the valves, and then I mixed it with brake cleaner, and I don't know if it did anything. I think the brake cleaner did most of the work, but if you want, you can buy it and mix it. My hands kind of dirty, I don't know, but it's actually the Super Tech brake parts cleaner that I bought. They were like $16 for 6 of them, I think, and I'm pretty sure I did 2 cylinders with a brand new can, and I still have some spray in the can left. So you'd probably go with like for a V6, like a 6-cylinder, you can probably go through like 3. That's at the max. Like at least you could probably just use 2. But actually no, not at least. I think 3 is a good amount, because I did it 3 times. I filled it up, and then I brushed it. I vacuumed it out. You can. And I left my freaking light over there. Okay. Alright. Let's see. Here's my vacuum modification that I did. Just a regular vac. What I did was I took one of these like little brake bleeder hoses that I had laying around. I taped it up to this bigger hose that I found in my house. You can see all the oil in there. And I taped that to the actual vacuum hose. So I'm gonna have to clean all this out later, but I'm pretty sure when I open this, all the gunk is gonna be in there. So I'm looking forward to seeing that. But I think now I'll do the time lapse and clean all these out. This is gonna take a while. Done with all the cleaning, and I've cleaned the intake manifold here. I sprayed some degreaser and whatchamacallit, brake cleaner in there. I'm just letting it all come out before I put the new gaskets in that. I did take the T-map out, or mass airflow sensor out, by the way. Where's my light? It's very dark. I think it's like, I don't know what time it is anymore. But cylinder number 1 was definitely the worst of them all, like by a large margin. So you guys can't really see that, but it's clean. This is really not helping. Okay. Well, it's clean, but it's not as clean as all these other ones. That's 2 and 3. It's 4 and 5. Probably can't get to 6, but one thing I noticed was that it was getting harder and harder. It was getting harder and harder to clean them when the engine got cooler and cooler. So if you're gonna do this, make sure the engine is still warm, and it's gonna cool down regardless. You're not gonna get all 6 done while there's a bug right there. Okay. Anyways, you're not gonna get all 6 done while the engine is still hot. Well, maybe, but I didn't get them all done, and I should have started with number 1, but I didn't know. So yeah, basically start with the engine still hot. It's gonna burn taking everything out. You're gonna burn yourself, so be careful. But definitely try to start with the worst one that you see, because it's definitely going to help having that engine warm. Which reminds me, so if you are doing this, and then well, if you're getting a catch can, I'm getting a vent to atmosphere kit from Vader Solutions, yeah, which just routes the two PCVs out to atmosphere. I'll put a catch can later on, but for now it'll work. So I'm not going to be getting as much oil as there was right here anymore once I put that on tomorrow. So what I'm going to do, it's still going to get some residual oil from, like, say, if your turbos are leaking, it might bring some oil up in there, or if these holes in there are still going to be coming out. But the Vader Solutions kit should fix that issue. It's not going to use those holes anymore to vent. So basically what I'm saying is, every time you do an oil change, I do an oil change every 3,000 miles. So every 3,000 miles I would buy a fuel system cleaner, or intake system cleaner, and then I'd put it between the throttle body, or take out the T-map and have someone in there revving it up to 2,500 to 3,000 RPM, and just do that. Just clean out I'll just run the whole car right before you do an oil change, and then let it sit for like an hour, or 30 minutes to an hour, I guess, and just drive around, come back, change, do an oil change, drive around again. It's going to be good preventative maintenance. You can do that every time you do an oil change. The longer you wait for an oil change, the less effect it's going to have on it, because it's basically, for me, it's like it's going to have 3,000 miles to build up all that oil up there. So what I'm going to do tomorrow is, as soon as after I'm done installing the Vader Solutions kit, I'll run a intake valve cleaner through the intake, and what that's going to do is it's going to get all that residual carbon out, because the engine's going to be hot. It really helps that the engine, heat really helps removing that. I thought it was like bogus, or it wasn't really going to do much, but I noticed that it actually did do a lot of stuff. So I guess now I'm just going to try to put everything back together. Hopefully not too much stuff got in the cylinders. I really hope it'll still start. Let's start up here. I think I should probably turn the engine over a few times first. Turn everything off, because the battery... Okay. Just turn it on. Whew, okay. warm up to operating temp. Hopefully nothing goes bad. I'm gonna go up front and check for leaks again. It still sounds like it's misfiring a little bit, but hopefully after a rough drive, it's gonna be good. Cold start, real loud. It's basically it's straight piped all the way. Basically a turbo back. I don't hear anything. Let me get the light off my phone. Nothing but the regular n54 ticking. That ticking is actually the high pressure fuel pump. But I'm gonna look around for any leaks. Not gonna find any intake leaks right now, I guess. I think I'm just gonna, if there is any leaks, I'll find it during a big pull. But I'll take you guys along for a test drive, and yeah, I'll just clean all that up while it gets up to operating temp. Hopefully the check engine light doesn't come on. I'm surprised it didn't. I thought I was gonna have to clear something. All right, you guys can go in there for now. I did a few pulls. It felt great. I haven't stopped as much yet to see if it was still shaking. So before it was shaking at a stop, like if I'm at a stoplight or anything, it would be shaking. If I'm parked at my house, it would be shaking. Like, not shaky, but like the whole car would be vibrating. So regardless if it's still shaking or not, I still clean the intake valves, and I know that those are good now for the stuff I'm about to do to this car. I didn't want to mention this thing. Let me turn off all the lights. This thing did actually, it like as soon as I backed out of my driveway and pressed the gas, the throttle response. Throttle response was like a lot better than it was before. I definitely noticed it, so I was pretty happy about that. Other than that, I didn't really notice anything else. There was a bit more smoke coming out of the exhaust when I did the cold start, but that's like cold starts on most cars, because oil's gonna be sitting there and you're just gonna burn it. But besides that, nothing really changed. Throttle response was better. The shaking apparently is still happening, so I don't think that's actually motor related. That either might be, well, it could be the spark plugs or ignition coils, which I'm gonna replace eventually, or it could be the engine mounts. Those are the only two other things that I'm thinking of right now. Yeah, okay, now I'm gonna end the video. I'm gonna stop rambling on. Thank you guys for watching. Go ahead and follow me on Instagram to see more of this car and that truck over there. Yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video tomorrow. Go ahead and subscribe, like the video, comment what you guys want to see me do with this car or that truck. Or, you know, I kind of want to get a beater to test more things out, but that can come later. I don't have any money right now. Thank you. Thanks for watching. Subscribe. I'll see you later.